From Darkness to Light is a powerful journey of one man's move from deep despair to newfound hope. Battling grief and depression, James learns to embrace life's challenges, turning his darkest moments into opportunities for growth. His story shows how even the toughest times can lead us from darkness to a brighter future. James had always been the kind of person who radiated positivity. He had a loving family, a decent job, and a small group of close friends. To the outside world, he seemed to have it all. But deep down, James was struggling. Life had taken an unexpected turn when his parents passed away in a tragic accident within months of each other. This loss shook James to his core. He tried to hold it together, but grief slowly crept into every aspect of his life. The weight of his emotions overwhelmed him, and he found himself sinking deeper into a pit of sadness and despair. Every day felt like a battle. He stopped hanging out with his friends, his job performance suffered, and the things he once enjoyed now felt meaningless. He would often lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why life had to be so cruel. His heart was filled with questions like, "Why did this happen to me? And what's the point of it all?" It felt as though the world had turned its back on him. One day, while driving home from work, James felt an overwhelming sense of emptiness. He pulled over to the side of the road and broke down in tears. It was the first time in months that he allowed himself to fully feel the weight of his emotions. He realized that he couldn't continue living like this, consumed by his grief and depression. He knew he needed to make a change, but he had no idea where to start. In his darkest moment, James made a decision: he would seek help. The next day, he booked an appointment with a therapist. This wasn't an easy step for him. He had always been the kind of person who believed he could handle everything on his own, but now he knew he needed support to pull himself out of the hole he was in. Therapy wasn't an instant fix, but it was a turning point. In his sessions, James began to open up about the pain he had been carrying. His therapist helped him understand that grief, sadness, and depression were natural emotions, especially after such a significant loss. James learned that trying to push those feelings away only made them grow stronger. Through therapy, James began to understand that life is not always in our control. He realized that asking "Why did this happen to me?" was like trying to find meaning in chaos. Life has its ups and downs, and sometimes things just happen, without reason, without explanation. The real question, he learned, was, how do I move forward from here? His therapist introduced him to mindfulness practices, teaching him how to be present in the moment instead of being consumed by the past or worrying about the future. James also learned that it was okay to ask for help and lean on others when times were tough. Slowly, he started to reconnect with his friends, and he even joined a local support group for people dealing with loss. It wasn't easy, and there were still days when the sadness felt unbearable, but James kept going. He started to understand that healing wasn't about forgetting the pain, but about learning to live alongside it. His parents' death had left a permanent mark on him, but it no longer controlled his life. As James continued his journey of healing, he realized something profound: life was still beautiful, even in the face of tragedy. He began to see that every moment was a gift, an opportunity to experience love, joy, and even pain. He understood that it was all part of the human experience. He started volunteering at a local shelter, helping people who were struggling with their own challenges. In doing so, he found a new sense of purpose. Giving back to others helped him reconnect with the world in a meaningful way. He no longer felt like life was happening to him. He was now an active participant in it. One day, after years of battling his inner demons, James woke up and felt something he hadn't felt in a long time: happiness. It wasn't the fleeting, temporary kind, but a deep, lasting contentment. He had finally come to terms with his past and learned how to embrace life as it was, not as he wished it would be. James realized that the struggles he had gone through had shaped him into a stronger, more empathetic person. He had come out on the other side with a greater understanding of life and a deeper appreciation for its preciousness. He knew that life wasn't about avoiding pain, it was about learning to navigate through it with resilience and hope. Today, James lives a life filled with purpose and joy. He still thinks about his parents often, but their memory brings him comfort instead of pain. He has built strong relationships with his friends, continued his therapy, and embraced the unpredictability of life. He no longer fears the hard times, because he knows that with every storm comes the promise of a brighter day. James's journey taught him one invaluable lesson: life is not about what happens to us, but how we respond to it. Every setback is an opportunity for growth, every painful experience a chance to learn. And when we choose to face our challenges head-on, with courage and hope, we can emerge stronger, wiser, and ultimately happier. James overcame his depression and found meaning in life again. He now lives with a profound understanding of what it means to be human, and with the realization that, no matter how dark things may seem, there is always a way forward. This story can inspire anyone dealing with stress, depression, or emotional struggles, showing them that even in the darkest moments, hope and happiness can be found with persistence, support, and self-compassion.